giving you story after story. Everything is true. Some things are kinda scary, so what you gonna do? Cause that's another tale from the Sipp. That's another tale from the Sipp. Sometimes we spit scripture, line upon line, not discussing wickedness, but what is divine. And
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tales from Sipp, episode 19. Yeah, got a good one for you today. Yeah, I'm gonna be talking about watch out for the man in the woods that sat in there all night long. Yeah, sound kind of funny. But let me explain to you. One time, I sat in the woods all night long from probably 11 o'clock at night to and sat in there until the sun came up. You wonder why? Well, I'm finna get into it. Before I go any further, sorry about that last video, the episode 18. It was kind of funny. I see you record on TikTok and then transfer it to here, and then I don't know, it makes it go, zoom in too much or something. But anyway, back to the story. Okay, one time, this was back in my early 20s, you know what I'm saying? In the late 90s. It was almost, probably around 2000s. But anyway, so at the time, I was hanging with this certain dude, my little brother that I grew up with. I let him, you know what I'm saying, I gave him a ride. I didn't really hang with him. I knew him, but he grew up with my little brother, nephew. So me and my cousin, you know what I'm saying, we gave the man a ride one day. My cousin was driving. And I gave him a ride. And at the time, I was in my little car, and then I had two, of them, in my console, in like and he seen that was in there, but he was riding with us. So we stopped at the store, went in the store and came out. We came back out. Then we dropped the man off at home. Being he knew my little brother and nephew, we thought he was all right, you know what I'm saying? He knew exactly where he stayed and stuff. I don't know why he did this. But anyway, so the man, we dropped him off at home. I get up the street, make it back to the house. I look in my console, one of them was missing. Now, you say, hmm, anything could have happened to make that occur. No, I automatically assume he got it out of there, cuffed it, and you know what I'm saying, took it in the house with him. So I do a little investigation, which I'm good at investigating and finding people. You know what I'm saying, and numbers and all that. So I end up finding out his uncle number. I called him. His uncle used to hang with my older brother, my oldest brother. You know what I'm saying? I called him. I said, "Hey man, tell your nephew that he need to have that there, man, or I'm gonna come see him, man." He like, "Wait, man, what's going on? What you talking about?" So I said, "Better yet, just hold on." So me and my cousin jump in the car and we goes down there to his uncle's house. his uncle didn't stay far from his grandma either. You know what I'm saying? So I go down there, I see, man, I ain't got nothing to do with that and all this and that. I say, hey man, just tell that dude, man, he need to give me that or I'm gonna do something to him, man. So boom. I'm like, okay. He thinks somebody playing. So that night, my cousin end up, I got him, I got my father had a rifle that hung up on his wall. You know what I'm saying? I got the rifle and I went back down there, you know, 'cause it could get out there. You know what I'm saying? Not no little pew pew. This was something that could reach out and touch somebody's, you know what I'm saying? So me and my cousin, when it got dark, probably around 10 o'clock at night. So I knew where grandmama stayed. And I told him, drop me off in the woods right there by grandmama house. Uncle stayed up street just a little bit, but I knew he was in grandmama house. I said, he gonna have to come out of there eventually. Man dropped me off in the woods and he took off. Do you know? So my cousin left, you know, the moon was up a little bit. That was the only light I had. I ain't had no night vision goggles. I ain't had no light. I ain't had nothing. I just sat in the woods, sat there all night, waiting on him to stick his head out the door. So let's see. And then after I seen the white of his eyes, surprise. But you know, so my cousin took off. We ain't had no cell phone back then. I ain't had no cell phone. So I didn't have nobody to call. I mean, I could have left after a couple hours, but nah, I stayed in there and waited on my cousin. This is how motivated I was to do what I had to do. My cousin showed back up at 6 o'clock in the morning when the sun was just rising. Yeah, there go my car coming back through. That old bitty car, man. You know, pick me up, jump in the car, then I rolled on past. Man never came out the house. He ain't never come out of that house. He ain't never stick his head out. I could never get to him till later on. But anyway, so he sat here and and we drive on back to the house. We drive on back to the house. His uncle ended up calling me. He said, hey man, I got that thing from a man. Come on by here and get it, man. So my cousin jumped in the car late on that. It was late on that day. Late on that day. Go down there. My cousin went up to the door and got it from him. I was sitting there, you know, ready to do what I had to do. You know what I'm saying? And so he gave it. He ended up giving the thing to his uncle to get it me, get it back to me. Now, to be real, it wasn't nothing but a little 2.5, if you know what I mean. It ain't cost nothing, man. I think I spent like $50 on the thing. But it wasn't the fact that the money I spent on it, the fact was it was mine. See, there's a principle to everything. The principle was you took some from me and I was showing being nice to you, seeing you somewhere, you needed a ride, we give you a ride, and soon we get out the store, you go into my glove compartment, and then you take one of one of my little bitty, things, and you just gonna like, well, nothing gonna happen. But I ain't the type of person like take losses, back then, because I don't take plenty of losses lately and over the years. But I just charge things and I go to the Most High in prayer about it. It's hard to do. It's really hard to do. But I tried, do that. But yeah, so I finally got the thing back to him. Maybe I'll tell you another story, part 2, on what ended up taking place when I end up seeing him again. Maybe somebody remind me. I might bring it up. But yeah, moral of the story is you can't trust some people. You doing good to them. And I think I bought the man something out the store too at the time. You doing good to somebody, and it don't matter, man. They're crooked. They just crooked. Number 2, don't do no stupid junk like I did, man. That could have went in that could have went bad, real bad. What if the police would have came through there? Somebody would have seen me in the woods and called the police on me and said, I could have ended up doing some time behind that. Or if I'd have seen the man come out the house, I'd end up doing probably getting a life sentence, man. That's premeditated. Or, there's a variety of scenarios that could have happened. What if I was in the woods, got bit by a moccasin or something, and got poisoned? I ain't had no phone. I couldn't call nobody, hey, come get me. I just got bit by a snake. Wouldn't have seen it. But I was used to being in the woods because I used to hunt at night and stuff. So I was used to it. Your eyes change, when you're in the woods. That's neither here nor there. But I just wanted to tell you about that story. And I hope you were entertained by this. But that's another Tales from the Sipp, episode 19. Watch out for that man in the woods at night. Yeah. Until next time, I'll see you later. Be on the lookout for Tales from the Sipp, episode 20. Yes, sir. Peace out.
That's another tale from the Sipp. That's another tale from the Sipp. Sometimes your boy may go way back in the day, talk about experiences and the games that he played. And that's another tale from the Sipp.